Well, I'm here at the Center Deli with Tony. What's your last name, Tony?
Taddeo.
Taddeo, Italian, Tony?
Yes, sir.
Nice, like me, like Cristiano.
That's right.
Taddeo. Great. So I'm here with Tony, and we're going to talk a little bit about Center Deli. Have you owned this from the beginning, Tony?
Yes, sir.
Wonderful. How many years is it now, Tony?
44 years we've been here.
44 years,
Yes.
wow. And your business is fantastic. I was in here today, it was like nonstop, people coming in and out, enjoying the great food you have here.
Thank God for the people, the nice people in town here.
Thank
We had a good time here. We raised a family.
Yeah. You live in Chelmsford, Tony?
Yes.
Wonderful.
29 years.
29 years, wonderful, wow. And you have your daughter working here, your grandson today?
My daughter, my grandchildren. Come here, man.
Come
Get
on,
over
man.
here.
Let me zip around here.
Come here. And Lisa, come here.
I'm working.
No.
Okay, Lisa, we could get Lisa later.
Smile.
Hey, nice.
There you go.
Nice, so this is your granddaughter?
This is my granddaughter.
Why?
One of 15.
Hi. No.
Yeah.
15 grandchildren.
Yeah.
How many children do you have, Tony?
4.
4 children? So that average is almost 4 per child. 4 children per child.
Do your math.
Yeah,
You're doing
I'm
good.
close, yeah. One only had 3. What's going on with that one? No. 15 grandchildren, that's good. Are you
And
getting
3 grandchildren.
great-grandchildren?
Grandchildren, yeah.
Wonderful. I was just going to ask you if you had any great-grandchildren.
And
Wow.
one coming now. One's on the way. Bobby's.
Oh, on the way. Wonderful, nice. And so 44 years you've owned this place?
Yes.
So, and your business is going great. Every time I come in here, it's packed with people.
Thank you.
And they love it, right? I had a great salad today.
People too. You gotta like the
Yes.
people.
You know what? Everybody says that about you, Tony, and everybody who works here are so friendly,
Well,
right?
part
Which
of
you
the
are.
business.
I think maybe it's because you're Italian and a nice Italian man.
The Tads are friendly.
A friendly, yes, yeah. So, because every time I post a picture of Center Deli on Chelmsford News, it gets tons of thumbs up, Tony.
Well, thank you.
Because everybody loves it and they comment, right? Have you seen it?
Well,
It says
we
how
love-
many,
We love the people too.
One-
Really.
and what made you get into this business, Tony? Were you in
My
it
family was in the business.
Oh,
Everybody.
nice.
My father, my brother, everybody.
Everybody was in the
I
business.
followed the footsteps.
Nice. And so, how do you like it being in this business, Tony?
I love it.
You love it?
I'm still working. Part-time, that is, but I'm in here.
Well, you seem like you're so energetic, Tony, right? You're not anywhere near retirement, I hope.
No, we're getting close.
Getting close.
Yeah.
But being at the register is nice because you get to say hello to everybody, right?
That's it.
And take their money, which
I
is
greet everybody when they come in.
yeah, which is nice.
Yeah.
We love that, Tony. I know I do. Charlie Wojtas does, who's in with me today.
I know the constable in town here, Charlie.
Charlie
Nice
Wojtas.
man.
I can't get. Let me see if I can get Charlie onto our video, okay?
Charlie, come on, Charlie.
Oh,
Come on, there he is. That's the constable.
Charlie, come on. Did you like your lunch today, Charles?
The lunch here is always special. They make it with love.
Nice,
They always
nice,
ask you whatever you need, they have it.
nice.
And they'll do whatever you want.
They do. We love coming here, right, Charlie?
Positively.
Because
Often
we see,
come.
yes. You know so many people every time you come here, though, Charlie, right?
No one
Is
less
that
than
because
less.
you're the constable
Yeah,
and
it's because
they
I
want to?
always give them summonses.
They want to be on the good side of
Wanna
you.
be on the good
Oh,
side. Hopefully they are.
oh. Well, we'll wrap things up because I see some customers coming to pay.
Right.
So hi. So let me just wrap this up. Thank you very much, Tony.
Thank you.
It's great talking with you. Good luck with everything.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Chelmsford Historical Society. I'm glad you all could make it. The first portion of this event, we're going to have 3 Girl Scouts present to us Chelmsford Town 4. This is Sarah Evans and Megan Dunn and Kara Demopier. All right, get going.
Thank you. So I'm Sarah. This is Megan. This is Kara. And we are Girl Scout Troop 63112, which is a local troop from Chelmsford. And we're also 8th graders at McCarthy Middle School. And we researched and put together this project. A Girl Scout Silver Award is the second highest award that a Girl Scout can earn. And it gives girls an opportunity to work in small teams to complete a service project that benefits their community. Over the past year, we have been working on our Silver Award project. When deciding what to focus on, we decided on a project that would allow us to learn more about the town that we live in. For our award, we chose a project that has two parts. We put the third grade scavenger hunt online with help from third grade teachers at Center Elementary School and Linda Braun, a Historical Society member who manages the scavenger hunt. Also, with the help of the Historical Society, we made a town tour that is available to any person interested in learning more about Chelmsford. The third grade scavenger hunt has been going on for around 15 years on paper. Third graders at Center went on a field trip, while at the other preschools they would go on their own time with their families. On the hunt, they would answer questions about each historical landmark that was on the tour, and there were 12 in total. We decided to make an online version on Google Forms, which is being implemented at the 4 elementary schools. It was a success at the Center Elementary launch on their field trip, June 1st, 2017, and Mrs. Braun is helping us to make it a feature at the other 3, Byam, and Harrington, this year. Students will input their answer to a question, and then they will have the chance to read about the historical landmark in an informational paragraph.
The pictures shown are taken directly from our scavenger hunt. Students can look at a map showing the location of the landmark in relation to other landmarks and answer questions once they reach the landmark. After they answer the questions, they can learn more about the landmark by reading an informational paragraph and then view a picture of the landmark they are looking at. The town tour is a website which allows the user to take a walking or driving tour of some of Chelmsford's significant historical landmarks. The user can drive or walk between historical sites while learning about their importance in Chelmsford's history. The pages with historical landmarks on them have many features that allow the user to learn about its importance. Each page includes an informational paragraph about the site, a link to more information, and a picture of the landmark. The landmarks are ordered in a loop convenient for those who choose to drive the entire tour. Users can also view a map of all the landmarks in Chelmsford and can choose which one to go to in any order. Also featured on the site is a page dedicated to the Chelmsford's open spaces, which includes descriptions of many open spaces, pictures, and the addresses of the sites. The descriptions explain the benefits of visiting each open space and their value to Chelmsford as a town. There is also a map included which shows which spaces are located on the Bruce Freeman Rail Trip. The menu at the top of the page allows you to select where you would like to visit on the page. You can take the town tour, visit the open spaces page, or learn about the creation of the site. This picture shows the listed landmarks where you can select any landmark you would like to visit. This page also features maps that show you where each landmark is located.
Each page is a header, which includes the name of the historical site and the location where it can be found. You can also view a picture of the site and read about its history. All of the pages have buttons on the bottom. You can click more information to be taken to a different website that goes more in-depth on the site's history. You can also view the previous site in the tour, go to the next site, or view the list of landmarks, allowing you to choose where you want to go next. The site also features a page dedicated to Chelmsford's open spaces. Viewers can read a few sentences about each open space, view a picture, and there is also a link for more information. Also shown is a map, demonstrating the location of these open spaces in Chelmsford and their relative location to the Bruce Freeman Rail Trail. The benefits of our site is that both town residents and visitors can learn about Chelmsford's history. Information about the town of Chelmsford is now more easily accessible. It's also great for visitors who want to learn more about the town's history. Our site is currently available online at the link below. We would love it if you would take the town tour and learn more about Chelmsford while supporting a local Girl Scout troop. Thank you for listening to our presentation.
It was South Chelmsford, and there were two time frames. It was in South Chelmsford. roughly 1835 to 1838 and 1845 to 1848. So Ezekiel Byam was an entrepreneur. He was looking for the next big dot-com revolution. Okay. And here's where he set up shop. This is South Chelmsford. You recognize this is Belleville Square, the triangle-shaped square. This is Charlie Parley's farm. Historically, it was a weight house. And he has a horse facility back. This is the Charlie Parley house that used to belong to Sally Field, that some of you know, who he also restored as the church, Baptist Church. This is Page Corner. And this right here, this is the location where the match factory was. And there were some other houses down the street. I couldn't locate exactly, it would take a little more research. But they did some assembly work in somebody else's house nearby. Should I take that? So, everybody knows, everybody firmly in mind now where it is, right? Okay, in 1787, Lieutenant John Bateman from Concord, Mass. Built this beautiful house. This is what we see today. This is what it looked like perhaps 100 years ago. You see the same barn, same exact barn. And Ezekiel married John's daughter, Charlotte. So they moved into the farm. And he ran the store here. We all recognize this is Kate's Corner. This is back in the 40s, I think, late 30s, 40s, down here. And this is back around the turn of the century. It's coal. It's so cold up here. And so here's Byam's running the store. Now he's looking for the next revolution and big money. Okay, so one of the things that everybody's looking for is how are we going to improve the match situation? If you wanted to light a candle or light your fire, your wood stove in the summertime where you don't run it all the time, at the time you would have to use flint on steel and a tinderbox. Okay. Now some clever people said, gee, I could make the tinder burn quicker if I put gunpowder in it. So sometimes that worked and sometimes it blew up in their face. And the other one was potassium chlorate and sugar or flour on a stick dipped into, of all things, sulfuric acid. So can you imagine going around, you know, you want to smoke cigarettes, so you pull a little vial of sulfuric acid out of your pocket, and you take this nasty stick with potassium chlorate and sugar on it. You dip it, you maybe take the cover off, you dip it in the acid, okay, pull it out, and a couple seconds later, it burns, okay, and lights the sticks. So those are your two choices for lighting up a cigarette or a candle for going upstairs at night. Okay, not too pretty. So what they really did, they just kept the wood stove burning, and they would light a little stick in the wood stove, and it was much safer and much easier to do that. But they're always looking for what can we carry in our pocket, you know, and light a campfire or whenever we want to, something that's safe indoors. And so John Walker in England, he was a pharmacist and a chemist. He came up with a friction light, kind of by accident. He was messing around with material to make caps for guns, and he had something on a stick, and he would brush it against a stove, I think it was, and it ignited. So that gave him the idea to try making a stick match. So he didn't patent it. A whole bunch of other people grabbed on the idea, and so all over England now they're making these matches. And one of the permutations is called Lucifer. So it became commonly known as a Lucifer over in Europe. So Ezekiel, he's running the store. Meanwhile, he's got some other ideas. This bottle doesn't belong to us. We actually were loaned this bottle out of the blue. It's Ezekiel Byam, Apodel Duck. What the heck is Apodel Duck? Anybody know? I call it snake oil. But anyway, it's a liniment, and It's got alcohol, camphor, herbal essences, and wormwood. That's because that's what they make absinthe with when they distill it. So what I found interesting, just this morning I was looking through water's history and discovered there was a Bateman itch ointment. Now, and that was only 10 years before this, so I have to wonder, John Bateman is his father-in-law. Now, his father-in-law may have had something to do with him being in the store, and his father-in-law, being a businessman, maybe he was making the anti-itch ointment. Okay? Because Dr. Betty's, he prescribed it and cured somebody from the itch. And so anyway, that was a connection. We could take a little more research. And fun little bottle to see. And now Ezekiel became the first one to manufacture the Lucifer match. That was Walker's invention. They've got several permutations. So we have several of these in the house here in our museum. This is a picture of one of those. You dip wood sticks into melted sulfur, and that's so the wood will burn once you start a little flame on the end. And you dip it into chloride of potash and antimony sulfide or antimony sulfide, and powder gum and water so it sticks. So the tip is the antimony sulfide, the sulfur is here, and then these sticks are set up so that you can just split them off one at a time. And he was selling these for 25 cents for 100. Seems cheap. No, too expensive. He wasn't very successful doing this because the price was too high. People couldn't afford it. So another improvement came out of England. It was called the friction match. And it was patented in 1836. It was developed in England. A shoemaker, of all people in Springfield, Mass., he was the first one in the U.S. to get the patent. So Ezekiel found out about this. He's not going to let anything stop him from getting on this freight train. So he buys the patent. He buys the right to manufacture, and then he goes and buys the entire patent. So now he controls these friction matches in the U.S. Okay, now how did they make it? Okay, they replaced the antimony sulfide with white phosphorus, and it made a better match. But notice here, problem, big problem, okay, major problem. When you're working with white phosphorus, they had to melt it, and if you melt it, it causes something that was so common they ended up calling it phossy jaw. It actually goes in, first sign is toothaches, then your jaw starts to eat away. You actually get, makes your jaw porous. Next thing that happens is your teeth fall out, and if you're lucky, you don't get a big hole inside of your face. Now, I went on the internet, I saw a few pictures. I don't know if they're doctored or not, but they were too gross for this audience. So I spared you the pain of seeing what this necrosis looks like, but it wasn't, if you had good ventilation in your factory, you could probably get away for a period of time, but so many factories had a few cases, and it kept popping up, case after case after case. So I'll show you what happened as a result in a little while. But anyway, Ezekiel, okay, this is before he knew about phossy jaw, and it became a problem. So he's excited. He went to Boston. He wants to promote his new acquisition and make the most of it. Okay. So he sold the idea. He came back to do some manufacturing in Chelmsford. It was a friction match, and this is actually from 1859 up here, and it's 1845. He went down to he returned to Chelmsford. So he manufactured. He outgrew the shop in Chelmsford. Now you have to wonder, those poor women, whoever it was that he hired to work in the match shop, were they lucky and got away with it, or did some people get very sick from this? So anyway, he went back to Boston, and then Byam, Carlton and Company, dealers in phosphorus and brimstone. So brimstone goes to sulfur. So it looks like they may have supplied some of the materials to make matches as well as perhaps making the matches. But he had the patent, so he's probably financially did very well. So in 1958, that company started. And then in 1863, did I say 19?
Yeah.
1858. And 1863, Ezekiel died. His son, Ezekiel Byam Jr., carried on the business. And this is a tax stamp. Bernie actually brought a real one in. This is one I grabbed off of the 1955 News Weekly, but Bernie has one, he owns one. It says, these matches have been sold for 40 years and have withstood the damp and humid atmosphere of every climate when all others have failed. Shippers and sea captains invariably give our matches the preference. So there's a big pitch. So this revenue stamp had to go on saying that they had paid their tax. Now, the first match, the Lucifer match, that had a disadvantage that when you pull it through the sandpaper, it would send flaming sparks out. Okay, so what happens? You want to light your candle, you go upstairs, right? You pull the match. If you're lucky, you get a flaming stick. If you're not so lucky, you get flaming embers going down onto your carpet, okay, or a stack of hay in the barn, or who knows. So those were fairly dangerous. That's why the white phosphorus came along. It was safer in that respect. It was it stank. They both stank, by the way, because they had sulfur to light the wood. Terrible stink. So both matches, both generations had those disadvantages. The user experience was better on the friction match, but it had that huge liability in manufacturing. So in 1880, Junior sold the business to the Diamond Match Company, and we're all familiar because that company is still in business. And in 1906, the use of white phosphorus was prohibited by the International Burn Convention. It was just so dangerous they just couldn't let it happen anywhere. But what happens? Bangladesh, Pakistan, India, they just keep on rolling with production, okay? So there were new laws written for those countries because it was happening all over again. And finally they got rid of white phosphorus in match production. So now in 1875, this is the site marker for the site of the match factory.
1975. Now we're in.
Not 18.
Thank you. I get my centuries all confused. So anyway, in 1975, George Parkhurst, Richard Leahy, John Alden, and Arnold Lovering were here for the unveiling of this historical marker. And ironically, I knew all three men. The only one I did not know and never met was George Parkhurst. And his daughter Sandy is here. I know his kids, met his wife. I never met George. So here's the site. This is the 192 Robin Hill Road. It used to be, historically, it's the Pennyman House. I'm not sure who lives in, the factory was where the foundation of the house is in this area. So the owners at the time requested that the monument not be in front of their house, so they moved it down here on the other side of the driveway. And that's the historical sign, and that's the historical marker. And this is what it says. First Lucifer Match Factory in America, 1835. But now you know the downside of the Match.com revolution. It wasn't perfect until the secret was they started using red phosphorus instead of white phosphorus. It was much safer for the assembly people. And that's what's used today is red phosphorus. The reason they didn't use it then, it was expensive. But now, wide production methods and so on. So anyway, that was the last slide.